What mistakes have you made navigating different cultures as a newcomer?
Assuming that things were very similar when I first moved to a new place. Assuming that the assumptions that people make in a first culture, so I'm from the Dominican Republic, we did go through colonization. We are of African, Caribbean, indigenous ancestry. So coming to a new culture, let's say Canada in this case, what we know today as Canada. So assuming the same things applied here, or assuming that body language was the same here than back there, assuming that proximity with people was the same. And you can call them mistakes, but those are differences that you realize when you move around.
So what was the turning point when you started becoming an entrepreneur? What sparked that?
So that was sparked, I think, when I was very young. My dad, he didn't go to university. I was born, he was first a musician, and he realized that in order to pay for my education and things, he had to go to university. So I saw him going to school, I went to his graduation, he started a job, he started his own business, and my mom was also a business owner. And since I was very young, I was going to their businesses. And then finally, when I was 15, my dad realized that I was very seriously into photography. He agreed to fund me by buying me a camera. And that was the beginning of my entrepreneurship. And I guess it's different to your answer because I didn't realize that I was an entrepreneur. In fact, I realized I was an entrepreneur this year because I was starting businesses and doing things on the side, always hiding it from my main job and not telling my friends, and working at night till very late. And then I went to a class that was entrepreneurial development for newcomers. And all of the things that it was to teach you how to be an entrepreneur, I was able to identify myself with all of these things that entrepreneurs did. And I realized, you know what, I shouldn't be ashamed of it. I realized I am an entrepreneur, and that's what I've been trying to do. You know how they say, what you do for your hobby maybe is what you should be doing for life. So that was what I was doing as a hobby, one of them. What sparks you joy? Really, one of the simplest things is seeing other people smile and feeling the energy from other people. That is the simplest way of putting it. Feeling that my family is going to die or that something bad is going to happen, and I am here, therefore I won't be available for them or be there to mourn with them. And also that because I have access to so many resources here that my view gets blinded maybe, so I'm not able to see and not remember what they're experiencing back home as well. I think was breaking free from ideas of how I should behave. This also has to do with the way I was raised, which I don't blame my family or the society, it's just how things are, but I was raised to imagine and believe that having straight hair was the best thing possible, behaving in a certain way, having lighter skin, you know, trying to blend in, kind of like you see in the ads. And then when I decided to cut my hair, let my afro grow, and actually share this, or even break the norm, because I went to school for biology. Then this whole transformation, which I'm trying to explain, of like cutting my hair, deviating from my degree, and actually doing things that I enjoyed, like moving away from Catholicism and tapping more into my spiritual self, or trying different businesses, or things that really sparked me joy in a way too, because I was just really proud of breaking free from this shell.
Thank you.
My power, I was looking at it from a lens of colonization when I wrote that down. And that also goes into my own journey with my hair is actually my tool. And even, someone told me, even breathing and being standing here is an act of resistance. Because I think for generations, especially people of my background, have been suppressed or oppressed is the right word, and invited to, or not allowed allowed to do things, not given an equal seat at the table, for example, asked or forced to look certain ways. So what I mean with that is, again, this idea of reclaiming who I truly am by aligning myself spiritually, mentally, health-wise, and then sharing that with the world. But not just with everything I do, but the things that I do that come from within.
How did you know who you were? Was it just natural, or did it like grow, or how did you figure that out?
So there's two things that I struggle with that. One is the idea that I self-identify with words, and the idea that I can be anything I want to be. So I think a really good answer was I read a book called Conversations with God. And in this book, it was speaking about us people as being sacred creatures from the Creator, and that each one of us had the power to be whoever, whatever we wanted to be in our lives. And when I read that book, it was given to me by a friend, and it felt like it was the Creator itself who was speaking to me. And along my journey, I've had people and experiences that speak to that same message, and who keep reminding me that who I am and what I am is something that is ever changing, and that I get to choose that. So I do self-identify with words because that's what I find in the community society. But how or when did I know? I never fully know, because I feel that within my greatness expression of my soul and who I am, I can be whoever and whatever I want to be. So I could change tomorrow. You know, I could say I want to be a chemist. So I'm going to go to school for chemistry, not really go to YouTube University, but you know, so when do I know? I don't know, but I know that I am. And that is what I know.
I was just wondering if, do you ever feel like torn between a lot of different dreams, or how do you experience that? Or is it like one singular focus?
So I thought, if I die tomorrow, what do I want people to remember about me? And I wrote it down on a piece of paper. And I always go back to it, I don't have it memorized, but it was in the lines of, Yamila was a woman who, through love and passion, she empowered other individuals, and she inspired and motivated others. She was able to raise many leaders and bring a generation of youth who changed the world. And it was along those lines. So I thought, as long as the things that I do align with that mission and vision I have for myself till the end of my life, it'd be fine. So what we call different dreams and goals, if they align, they're overlapping. So whether it is through a job or through a side project, if I am in the realm of inspiring and bringing some good into the world, that is kind of like the same project.